Okay, what I'm going to explain to you is something that's very important in science. It's called uncertainty in measurements. And in measurements. And what it deals with is the fact that every number we're going to use in this class is going to be derived from a measurement that we've made with an instrument. And when I say instrument, I mean a ruler, a scale, a beaker, a flask, a graduate cylinder, where every number that we use is going to have its roots somewhere in a measurement that was made. And so every measurement carries with it a degree of uncertainties whose magnitude depends upon the nature of the measuring device. You can have good rulers, you can have bad rulers. And what we need to do is figure out a way that the reader who is looking at that number will understand whether it's a good ruler or a bad ruler. And so that brings up this idea of uncertainty in measurements. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw 3 rulers. Okay, here's the first ruler. Here's going to be the second ruler. Here's the third ruler. And the first ruler is the rulers that we use at Summit. Second ruler is what they use over at Bend High. And the third ruler is what they use at Mountain View. Now the ruler that we use here at Summit is going to have a mark there for 1 centimeter, and it's going to have another mark right there for 2 centimeters. And our rulers at Summit also have millimeters marked, like this. So I didn't do a very good job, but you kind of see that. Bend High ruler only has centimeters marked. So it's going to look like that. And at Mountain View, they couldn't find their rulers, and so they sent Jeb outside, and Jeb came back with a stick. And so that's what Mountain View's ruler is going to look like. So here's the deal. We are going to sit there and try to figure out the length of this red rectangle. And so how long is this red rectangle using everybody's rulers? If I'm going to measure this with the Summit ruler, I would look at that and I would go, okay, I know for certain that it is 1 centimeter, because this mark right here that's the 1 centimeter mark. This is 2 centimeters. Okay, and I know for certain that that ruler is 1 centimeter. So I'm going to put down a 1. I know for certain. I am certain that rectangle is at least 1 centimeter. Now I'm going to sit there and I'm going to start looking at this, and I'm going to kind of have to squint and kind of have to, look very carefully. But if I'm trying to figure out exactly where that falls, looking straight down, I'm going to say, okay, it is 1 centimeter. It is also larger than 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. Okay? So I'm 1.3. All of these numbers are certain. Now I'm going to do the new deal, which is make that one guess or measurement to one level of uncertainty. And what I do is I sit there and say, okay, I am between the 0.3 and the 0.4 mark on my ruler. I'm far closer to the 0.3 mark, so I'm going to say I think I am, say, 0.02. So that is my next digit that I place in there. So the Summit High School ruler gives me this measurement of 1, because I am certain that it's 1 centimeter right there. I'm certain that it's bigger than 0.3 centimeters, which called it right there. And now I'm just going to say, okay, I make that guess. I'm between 0.3 and 0.4, so it's going to be 2, and I call it 2. And so the measurement I got from the Summit ruler is 1.32 centimeters. this last digit is the digit that is uncertain. It's very important though, because that tells whoever has come along reading this measurement that the ruler looked like this. It was a pretty good ruler. It had all these little marks for millimeters, tenths were, centimeters were divided up in tenths, and it was okay. Now I take a bend high ruler and I do exactly the same thing. So I'm just going to kind of draw this down. And okay, so we come down through here, chink chink to that. Now these are 1 centimeters, or centimeter calibrations, just like we have here. But this time I'm looking at it and going, okay, I know for certain that it is 1 centimeter. So I'm going to place, okay, I am certain that it is 1 centimeter. What's more, I know for certain that it falls somewhere between 1 and 2 centimeters. So I'm going to say that looks to me to be about a third of it, maybe. So I'm going to say, okay, it's 1.3. That, though, is as far as I can go. I can't go any further. So the 3 becomes the uncertain digit. The best I can get out of a bend high ruler is that that object is going to have a length of 1.3 centimeters. And the difference between the summit measurement and the bend high measurement is the summit is more precise, because I know for certain that that object was 1.3 centimeters, and I made my guess to 2 hundredths. But the bend high only gave me 1.3 centimeters as the length, so that 3 is kind of vague and uncertain. But that's how it is done. Now I go and I pick up the Mountain View ruler, and I come down and I go, okay, what's this going to be? Well, I don't even have centimeters. So the best I am going to say is I think that red rectangle is 1 centimeter in length, because that's a guess, and that becomes the uncertain digit. Every measurement that you make in this class, I want you to go to the point of 1 level of uncertainty, or 1 guess. Now, what this is going to bring up is something called significant figures, which is a way that we're going to calculate amounts of measurements properly. And that will be the next thing I talk about.